Hi, I'm Stephanie Laska. I lost 140 pounds and created Dirty Lazy Keto. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy the show. I hope I make you laugh sometimes because it's either laugh or cry, right? Today we're going to talk about how to stop eating sugar on a keto diet. Sugar. How to stop eating sugar on a keto diet. Now, I want to know, thumbs up if you love sweets as much as I do. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Even if you love sweets a little bit, give me a thumbs up because I don't want to feel all sad and alone with my very, very sweet tooth because I love sugar so much. It's part of my problem, I'm sure, along with Cheetos and chips and some baked goods and some donuts. But in general, I know I have a sweet tooth. That's okay. So let me know I'm not alone, please. Because if you love sweets, today's going to be a great podcast, a great video for you to watch. Because I lost 140 pounds and I couldn't have done this if I hadn't come up with some tips and some tricks to stop myself from eating real sugar and to figure out a way to manage those cravings, right? So I still lost the weight, still have the sweet tooth, didn't go away necessarily, but I'm going to give you some tips on how you can have your sugar-free cake and eat it too. But do I get a gong for that? Let me find my gong. Here it comes. But sugar-free cake and eat it too. Come on, I'm trying to be punny. Huh? I know. It's so sad. So sad, Stephanie. The jokes. Not good. But for reals, you guys, it's a big struggle. I think a lot of us, we fight it. We get our gloves out, right? And we're like, pow, pow, pow. We try to fight back against those sugar cravings. And oftentimes, it knocks us out. And then we end up losing. And then out comes the shame and the guilt. Yeah? You're with me on this one? You have the shame, the guilt, oh my gosh, I'll throw in the towel. I'll start tomorrow. I'll never do this. Like all that negative self-talk. And that's my number one tip. I'm going to give you 5 today. But the number one tip is I actually want you to stop fighting your sweet tooth. Stop trying to knock it out. Stop trying to fight back because you probably won't win. If you have a sweet tooth and you like sweets, even if you're on a keto diet, even if you're trying to lose weight, it's a thing. Like, let's stop fighting back. Like, if someone's looking at you weird for eating, some kind of a sweet product or a sweet food, I want you to growl back and say, Stephanie told me I could have it. Okay? And I'm going to teach you how. So let's let go of that guilt and shame and admit to ourselves that having a little sweet once in a while is normal. It's part of life. Everybody does it. Everyone likes sweets. There's nothing wrong with you for wanting sugar or something sweet, even though you're trying to lose weight. So no matter what size you are, even like me, even when I was, close to 300 pounds, I still craved sugar all along the way. And yes, I had to fight those feelings of guilt and embarrassment for, having something sweet when everybody else is glaring at me like, who does she think she is? Should she really be eating that? Yes, I should. Dang it. Back off, keto police or diet police. So I give you permission. That's tip number 1. So I'm going to give you 5 today. That was number 1. Fight back. And number 2, I want you to really think about what you can do when it comes to sugar to find a swap that's going to work for you. Now, I'm not just talking about sugar. There are plenty of options out there. And I know that you've played a little bit with them, right? Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. Do you like Splenda? You're all, oh, really? You can have that? Do you like Lakanto or monk fruit? Is that your favorite? Do you like the powder or do you prefer a liquid product like Lakanto squirts? That's an option too, right? And some of you out there might even like something, all my rebels out there. You might like something like allulose, which is not a sugar alcohol and kind of a tricky one when you're coming to terms with net carbs, and I can help you with that. But that's another option. And then I'm sure there's some folks out there that like stevia or more of a plant derivative. Tell us in the comments what sugar-free sweetener is working for you. Because there's no best one. There's no perfect one. There's no best for everyone or keto approved. That's keto crap. Don't listen to people that try to boss you around and tell you what to do. Do what's right for you and your body. Boom. That's it. Keep trying to find sugar-free swaps, okay, for all things that are sweet and yummy. So for example, if you want to have like a icy, your friends are having summertime, ice cones, or I think they call them shaved ice in Hawaii, something fun like that. You can get these Toriani syrup flavors in strawberry and watermelon, cherry, and all sorts of exotic, like fun coffee flavors too, like vanilla or butterscotch or eggnog, peanut butter. That one's pretty gross. I'm just being real. There's other brands too, right? There's Da Vinci, there's Skinny Girl. What's your favorite flavor? If you have one, please share because we want to know. And if you have one that you don't want us to buy because you think it's gross, like peanut butter or chocolate, those are pretty bad, let us know in the comments too so you can save heartache from one of your friends here in the keto community. Personally, I buy a lot of these at TJ Maxx. Shh, it's like my little secret. They're usually like $4 there. Or you can buy them in a big mega pack on Amazon, like a gift pack to yourself. They're so much fun to play with in terms of recipes. Just keep trying different products. And I know that depending on where you live, you may not have access to some of these. Don't be writing me letters and be like, Stephanie, we don't have Mrs. Butterworth's sugar-free syrup in Canada. I'm sorry. I can't come to Canada and bring it to you. But I can tell you to keep trying different products in your community, at your grocery store, wherever you live. I'm sure you have something because there's diabetic people everywhere. And diabetics tend to buy sugar-free products, not just keto people, but diabetic type 2 diabetes. So that is maybe the angle to go at when you're walking around the grocery store asking for help. Don't say keto because they're all like, what? What's that? Say diabetic. Say diabetic-friendly products. Then they're like, oh. Because that's been around a lot longer, right? So people in grocery stores might be more familiar with that term. And that's okay to say. Here's a product I love. Now, I like to swap out peanut butter, the real peanut butter, for this organic PB Fit peanut butter powder. I swear to you, it tastes the same. You can mix it with oil or water, put it in your smoothie, all sorts of random stuff to do with this, and you'll be like, that seriously tastes like peanut butter. I use this a lot in my salad dressings when I'm making like a Thai flavored or a Japanese, like a miso type dish where I want a peanut butter flavored dressing or dip. Really tasty, fun to play with, sugar-free, and it'll help you cut some carbs, right? Figure out what it is you need to swap. Like if you're eating a lot of candy, maybe you need to head to the candy aisle and see, can I find a sugar-free candy that's tolerable, that you won't go too crazy on, right? The trick is to find maybe something that won't get you in trouble, okay? Should I say that again? The trick is, this is all number 2, to find these swaps, these sugar-free swaps that won't get you in trouble. That is a very important part of that message of number 4. Like, for example, I can have fat-free hot cocoa powder and have this on a cold night, sit in front of the TV, and I can just have 1 cup, and I'm totally fine with that. P.S. You want to get the fat-free hot cocoa powder, not the sugar-free. Random fact, the fat-free has less carbs than the sugar-free. Makes no sense, I know. What are you going to do? My particular brand here is Nestle fat-free, and it does have 4 grams of net carbs per serving, which is a packet. You could even stretch that out to 2 packets, right? Anywho, this kind of product doesn't get me in trouble, so I can feel free to indulge on those. You may not be one of those people. You may have that little bit of, hot cocoa and then want 12 more cups. I don't know. Do you? That's number 2. Figure out what it works for you to swap that won't get you in trouble. That is the most important part. Now, I know I got all super excited about that, so I'm going to take a deep breath. And I'm going to spin the wheel because we need to have a prize for people who are participating in the comments, okay? So I'm bringing over the prize wheel. Here we go. And there's some new prizes all up in here on the prize wheel. I want to show it to you because you're going to be excited. I love prizes. I want to make losing weight fun. I used to be a teacher. I taught 2nd grade, taught kindergarten. I know I'm trying not to talk to you like that, but anyway, I want to show you one of the new prizes here on my Wheel of Fortune is a lunch pail. I ordered these for you guys. How cute is this? You can fit like a 6-pack in here of drinks or your big lunch or snacks for work or whatever. Anyway, I bought these out of my kindness of my heart, had them printed. So I have a whole bunch to give out as prizes, and it's here on the wheel, along with other prizes such as aprons, cutting boards, fridge magnets, pot holders. There's the lunch pail. And then also free copies of my books. So wherever it lands, ooh, I pick a random person from the comments and then contact them to win a prize. Isn't that fun? And you can enter as many times as you want. You can just keep commenting, comment, hundreds of times, because then you have more chances to win a fun prize. Today's prize is surprise. That's hilarious. Okay, so since it's a surprise, I'm going to pick the new prize, which is the lunch pail. I know, right? So if you want to win the lunch pail today, who doesn't want to win the lunch pail? That's how you participate, by going in the comments. How fun. It landed on the one we all hoped and dreamed for. That worked out well. Okay, so we're coming up with 5 tricks today, 5 tips on how to stop eating sugar on a keto diet. We did number 1, let go of the guilt. Number 2 was to find out those swaps that won't get you in trouble, though. So now we're at number 3. Now, number 3 is funny. You know, I like to be funny. I'm not funny, but I try. Do you see? I have a giant flower, a mega size flower as big as my head. And I'm thinking kind of like allergies in the springtime, where you have a bad reaction. I want you to also watch out for triggers. Triggers, kind of like the flowers with allergies, but I want you to watch out for triggers that might cause you to go down the scary path. Watch out for those triggers, because when it comes to, getting rid of sugar or managing cravings, there are some sugar-free products or low carb products that can still cause you to have a terrible reaction, right? Just like a giant flower. For those of us who sneeze, I was trying to come up with a pun. Work with me, people. But anyway, I don't want you to have a bad reaction when you try to pull out some of these sugar-free products, okay? So for me, I'm thinking about my triggers. My triggers are probably baked goods. So when I'm trying to manage sugar cravings, if I start working on baked goods, even though they're low carb, even though they're keto friendly, even though they're, maybe even from one of my recipe books, sometimes I have trouble with these, and they might be a trigger for me to go crazy and then eat way too much of that item, or go off the rails and start just eating sugar like a Pac-Man. Anyone else do that? So if that's you, just what's your trigger? Start thinking about that. Those might not be the best products for you to include in your management of sugar cravings, okay? Certain things, even though they look good and they taste like sugar, just because it might remind you of something you used to eat. For example, like donuts. Oh, does anyone like donuts? I love donuts too. I know. I'm trying to think. I have a great donut recipe in one of the cookbooks. I think it is, I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure it's in the No Time to Cook cookbook. You guys can help me out. It's called Delivery Donuts. It's a great recipe. It reminds me of my grandmother's. Let me know if it's in the No Time to Cook cookbook or if it's in the 5-ingredient cookbook. Either way, you have to try it. It's a fantastic recipe for donuts. But for some people, even though it's a low-carb donut recipe, they might have one and be like, they just go crazy, like, right? And then the next thing you know, they're eating 20 donuts and they're eating everything in sight. And then they're heading out to the supermarket to look for real sugar products. So if a recipe or a particular food is just not a good fit for you and it's a trigger, maybe cut it back or limit it, or just put that on hold for now. You can always revisit it later, especially if it's causing you trouble, right? I mean, a lot of people get excited when I say, oh, you can have things like, real whipped cream on Dirty Lazy Keto. They're like, are you serious? I said, of course you can. It's like 1 net carb per serving, which is 2 tablespoons? It's like a squirt, basically. That's pretty good, right? Can you do that, though? That's the question. Or is this a trigger? Will you have the whole can? Will you be squirting it everywhere? You got to be honest with yourself, right? So that's trick number 3, is be aware of your triggers. So if it happens to be ice cream or keto, fabulousness that you buy at Costco, like keto granola, keto waffles, keto pancakes, keto ice cream bars, low carb ice cream bars. If all that kind of stuff is your trigger, take a hard, cold look at it and say, you know what, I can't have these particular items in my life right now. I'm going to put them on hold, revisit them once I get my sweet tooth a little bit more under control. You'd be surprised how it changes as you lose weight. I think you get used to stuff and then, it's not like you can't have it forever. It's just that maybe it's a problem at this time. It's okay to admit. For example, one of mine is chocolate chips. I love them. The sugar-free chocolate chips. They're fine, right? I can have them, but I'll eat the whole package. I will, because they're so good. Even if I do my little cup, my little thimble, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Next thing you know, I'm coming back for more. It's like calling my name. Stephanie, come have more. And then I overeat. Or as soon as the package is open, I'll keep going every day for a week until they're gone. So I just have to be really careful of these. I don't open a package too often because I don't want to lose control and be crazy. I still buy them. I still eat them. I still recommend them. But I know it's kind of a hot button for me. So I have to be a little bit more careful. And that helps me kind of monitor things. And a lot of people feel that way about candies, right? The Atkins candies, the granola bars. Tell us in the comments what might be your trigger. Even though it's keto, quote unquote. Tell us if it's a problem for you, because I think that could help somebody else, not feel so alone that they feel crazy when that food comes out. That's okay. We can share, right? We're in this together. So ready for number 4? Tip number 4 when it comes to managing sugar on a keto diet. Tip number 4 is don't forget about the pow of natural sugar. Natural. I'm not talking about sugar alcohols, allulose, any of the fake stuff that you guys will write me. I can't tolerate that. What should I have? Here's your tip. Tip number 4, if you're trying to manage your sugar cravings, cut out sugar from your diet, think about ways you can have natural sugar, which is not as addictive as real sugar. Still counts, still has a lot of carbs, right? But things like, what's this? Raspberries. Raspberries are low in carb. You can have a few of these. Put these in the freezer especially. My husband calls them nature's candy. Clearly, he has not had the kind of candy in his childhood that I had, because I don't know if I would say these are nature's candy. Here's another one. What is it? Blueberries. Can you think of more? These are naturally sweet products that are lower in carb. I mean, a cup of blueberries is what, 18 net carbs per cup? So you're not going to have the whole cup, but you might have a handful. That's okay. And then you're not getting those sugar alcohols or an ice cream or something that might make you go down the crazy train. And there's more, right? There's not just those two. I went shopping today, can you tell? Here we go. Here's another one. What do we got here? Blackberries, right? Oh my gosh, I love these. These are as big as my finger. So sweet. And sometimes it just takes one, right? Like if you're an after dinner person, like if you like a little sweet after a meal, maybe that's all you need is just to have one of these in your freezer or fresh, have a little strawberry, and then boom, you got that pow of that natural sweet and you're good to go. You see what I mean? You don't have to buy all this sugary garbage, that says keto, and then be all stressed out about what the sugar alcohols are doing to you. If that's not your jam, that's okay too. For example, a lot of folks enjoy a little bit of real chocolate. Real chocolate. I know, not sugar-free. You're all, whoa. I know, like pause and everyone's like mystified. But seriously, Lind Chocolate Ghirardelli, they have like an 85% cocoa. They've got the 90% cocoa. These are very rich. 92% cocoa. And for anyone who's super hardcore, it's kind of like dirt. Don't laugh. Put the 100% cocoa. But you know what I'm saying. You can get a little bit of these products, a real chocolate product, just like that pow of a berry, and still feel like you're getting something sugary. Now, I don't know if that's me. That may not work for me. Tell me if it works for you. Everyone's different, right? But I'd be curious if it works for you. Tell us in the comments if you are one of those people. It's kind of like the abstainer moderator situation. I talk about this in a lot of the Dirty lazy keto books, some of us can have a little bit of something really good and be just fine with it. That's not me. And then others have to have a lot of it in order to be satisfied. That is me. So anyway, that was tip number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to get to tip number 5. I have a giant pencil in my hand because I want you to write this down. Write it down. Make a little list for yourself about finding your freebies. Okay? Find your freebies and make a list because you'll forget in the moment when you're like, oh, I need something sweet. I must have sugar. You're going to forget. You need that list. Keep it on your iPhone. Post it on your fridge. Put it somewhere big, so you're not like, and then the next thing you know, you're eating something crazy that you didn't want to. So for me, what I'm talking about by freebies are stuff that is not going to get me in trouble, that I can just have whatever I want and not have any guilt or worry. They're super low in carb, low in everything. For example, flavored coffee. There's no carbs in flavored coffee. Yes, there's caffeine, but whatever. Who cares? Another one that I get wild and crazy with is sugar-free Jell-O. Why not? It's sugar-free. It has like 10 calories per whatever. Not that I count calories, but I have common sense. You hear that? You don't have to count calories, but you can count common sense. Common sense can tell you that coffee, tea, water, Jell-O, all these things are like nothing. You can just eat a whole bunch of it, get your sweet tooth on, and you're good to go. You don't have to stress like, oh my God, I just had 5 popsicles. Well, yeah, those popsicles that are made with, heavy whipping cream are probably going to do a little bit more damage, big picture, than compared to like a bunch of sugary flavored water. That's like 1 carb per packet. And I'm holding up here a pink lemonade by Weiler's. I buy all the flavors, all of them. I have no shame. I don't see why not, right? I also do a lot of the teas. If you're getting a sugar-free tea and it is herbal, you could pretty much have 100 of these and nobody would care because it's not doing anything, right? At least in my opinion. It's dirty, lazy keto people. There's all sorts of fun flavors. This one is sugar cookie sleigh ride. It's my favorite. It tastes like a cookie, especially if you put just a little dip of heavy whipping cream and a little packet of sugar-free sweetener. Holy moly, it's like you're eating liquid cookies. Now, some people might freak out about that and have like then I'll have 500 cups. So what? Who cares? Go ahead with yourself. I drink sugary drinks all day long. I don't care. Judge if you want to. I like sweet things. And for me, I get my sweet on by having like sugar-free Gatorade, by having uncaffeinated sugar-free soda like Diet Sunkissed Orange, or the very classy House brand of soda. Like any of these sugar-free sodas or flavored waters, they have these by all different companies. You don't have to buy just this brand, but they're just water with some fake flavorings. They are mostly, if you look at the label, always check your label. Don't just go off of my recommendation, but always look at the label. And if it's 0 carbs, then drink it all. Put some crushed ice up in there and get busy. These could really curb your sweet tooth. I have these in all different flavors, in squirts, in powders, the sugar-free flavors, watermelon, lemonade, orange, fruit. And I know I'm so embarrassed when I tell you about my secret gum addiction. That's not secret because I talk about it all the time. But I eat so much gum, it's like embarrassing. I get like headaches. I wake up in the middle of the night, my jaw's all, I don't care. It's, sugar-free and it's 0 carb or 1 net carb, but it has sugar, alcohol, so you subtract it. I don't care. I love sugar-free Mentos cotton candy. I buy it by the case, as you can see. How embarrassing is that? I used to be so addicted to the Trident mint spearmint, but they stopped selling my precise flavor. So I'm very mad at them and I'm hooked on cotton candy. But I don't hold back. These are my freebies. Remember I said get your pencil, make a list of what works for you. They don't trigger me to go crazy. Crazy meaning overboard, like where I go to the grocery store and start buying chocolate bars. So what if I go overboard having 20 pieces of gum at once? Not at once, but one after the next, after the next, after the next. You follow me? I don't judge myself. I feel like I'm doing the best thing I can. Now, I also have a few other random tricks that I do. And these you might think I'm very strange, but I don't really care. I love sweet vegetables. I know it's so weird, but I make a coleslaw. It's in the Dirty Lazy Keto original cookbook. Okay, the first one, if you have that, it's called like lawn clipping salad or something like that. It's in this one here, the original Dirt Cheap cookbook. And I make a lot of recipes in all the cookbooks using vegetables that are sweet. And I make it with coleslaw with mayonnaise and sugar-free sweetener. And I use mayonnaise. And it's so good. It's very sweet. And I'll put nuts on top, bacon. And I eat it by the trough load. I'll get my giant bowl and eat it all, like 4 servings, all by myself. And it gets my sweet tooth and it goes, and then I'm good to go. Then I don't feel yucky. I feel good about myself. You know, that's part of it, right? I think that this is a lifestyle. Dirty Lazy Keto is doable for everyone. Once you get the hang of it and you get your little list out, you get your help, you get your recipes down about what's working for you and makes you feel satisfied, you just keep doing that over and over again. You don't judge yourself for what it is you're doing. You do the best you can. You do the best you can. And you celebrate every step along the way. Does that make sense? I hope so. Well, if you need more advice about how the Dirty Lazy Keto diet works, or you need recipes, I've got tons of books on the subject. If you're just starting, I have to tell people again and again, if you're just starting, know that Dirty Lazy Keto is different from other type of keto or low-carb diets. Make sure you get a copy of the beginner's guide first. You can get it for free at your library, so don't be calling me up, I'm on a budget. Go to the library, that's where we go, and borrow it from a friend. 10 million people have this book, maybe not 10 million, but certainly a whole bunch. People have this book, it's wildly available. Get a copy, read it. If you don't like reading, listen to it on Audible. I read it to you. How easy is that? Come on. And if you want recipes, I've got 4 cookbooks out. Just so you know, this is another question I get. The cookbooks are all different. There's no repeats. There's 100 recipes in each one. No overlap, no repeats. There's a different kind of theme to them. But every cookbook is going to have 100 recipes. They're all 10 carbs or less per serving. And all the cookbooks include breakfast ideas, main meals, sides, snacks, soups and salads, breads and pizzas, and my favorite category, not drinks, but can you guess? Dessert. Very important to our topic today. So I am going to link up a free sample recipe next. One of my favorite chili cheesecake bar recipes. I'll link that up next so you can just click on it to watch a sample recipe where I show you how to make that. And I just want to encourage you because DLK works when you work it. It's flexible and it's easy to do for the long haul. And it's common sense. It's doable. All you have to do is do it. And I'm here to support you. I don't ever want you to feel alone. Help is always here. 24/7, hop on and watch one of these videos, ask a question on social, and I'm going to be there to help you. I'm going to be there to support you. Because I believe, as you know, I'm going to start clapping for you. I believe that weight loss transformation is possible, and I believe that you can do it. So give yourself a round of applause. Clapping, we're clapping, we're clapping, clapping, clapping.